Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So this is going to be my last restock now, for 2025, I would imagine. So yep, I'm going to try and get through all of these things as quick as I can. There is a lot of stuff here to show, and I've got some more stuff to the side. So let's try and get through everything as quick as possible. So let's start with the smaller items. So I've got a couple of the little, oh gosh, what do we call these? Like the Ephemera, the Accordion, sorry, fold out booklets. I've got a couple of them still left. So these are the little books with the bits of ephemera and, oops, the flippy pads and things. So, yep, super cute. And they've got lots of like genuine vintage stuff in these. So, yep, I've got a couple of those left. So that's that one. And then I've got... I'm not going to show you them all because obviously, you know, I mean, they're similar. They're not the same, but they are similar. So then I've got this one as well. So, yep, a couple of those left. I think I might have another one or two as well. So, and again, they are on a potluck basis. Now, everything I say that's on a potluck basis, it just means you could get, you know, any different designs from things. So I've got some lace clusters. So I haven't had these for a while. I need to really make some more lace clusters. So this is the only one of these. Yeah, I'm sort of running low on these. But you get 10 different lace clusters. They've got various different things on them. Gems, you know, flowers, what have you. And you get 10 in a pack of these. So they're all different. So you won't get kind of like two the same or anything. But that's the only pack of the lace clusters. So that's that one. I've got some scrap paper bundles. So these are things like, you know, when I'm making printables, they might be misprints and things. They're generally mainly two-sided, but you might get one or two like here that are single-sided. And they're going to be a huge variety of different papers. But these are going to be fantastic for things like collaging and, you know, things like that, really. You could make pockets and things from these. So, yeah, lots of different uses for these or with these. And you might get some like this with kind of different things on the back because, like I say, they're from when I have been making printables. So you're going to get, you know, all different bits and pieces. I can't remember. I think you get 25. It could be 20. It could be 20 of the sheets in here. So I don't want to misquote. Let's assume it's 20. But yeah, so they're really quite good value and you get a huge variety of different things in there. So they're quite good for, you know, those people who are sort of building up their stash. If you don't have many decorative papers at the moment, then they're quite a good one. Right, next I've got a couple of different tag bags. So these are, as the name suggests, you get a tag bag or a bag in the shape of a tag. So I've got a couple of these, and again, they're sold on a potluck basis, so it could be either of these. I think these are the only two that I've got, and they've got 10 different tags in. Now I'm not going to bother showing you the backs because obviously they're kind of plain, and you're going to have a variety of different size tags. So this one, for example, has got a little pocket in there, and then obviously you have some smaller tags. You've got, you know, collagey tags and all different things. You've got some tags with sari silk and things on there, and then going up to, you know, much bigger tags there. So 10 tags. I'll just very quickly show you through the other one because, like I say, they are on a potluck basis. So, I mean, they're completely different tags. But, you know, I'm not going to be able to guarantee which tags set you're going to be able to get. But it's just going to be, you know, one or the other. This one, I think, is, yeah, it's a, oh dear, nearly lost that. It's an actual little opening tag there. So, yep, quite a fun one there. Oops. And then, yep, another couple of tags there. So, yep, nice variety. And it's quite nice to have all different tags because, you know, you're going to be able to kind of like, if you've not got many tags and things ready-made in your stash already, they're going to be great for all different journals. I've got loads of different paper pads. I think there's something like 10 different paper pads. Now again, these are sold on a potluck basis and they're all going to be completely different. So what I've done, I've put 25 sheets in these. They're all single-sided. They are 120 GSM, so a really nice presentation quality paper. And what I've tried to do is coordinate them so you could put them together in different ways. So this one, for example, you could go in a pink direction because you've got some papers with pinks. You could go in a brown direction because you've got brown kind of papers in here. Again, you've got browns and pinks here. Or you could go in a blue because this has got the blues. You know, you've got different options, and so you're going to be able to make a variety of things with these different paper pads. And I did say I took one of these on holiday with me, and it was so brilliant. I was able to make so many different things from the paper pads. So I'm just going to quickly flick through a few of these. So if you were to buy more than one, obviously I'm just kind of demonstrating that you would end up with completely different things. You're not going to end up with, you know, the same papers. You're going to have kind of completely different paper pads. And obviously if I was posting them out, I would try and ensure that you definitely ended up with quite different, if you see what I mean. So, you know, if one's got more, let's say, browns in it, I wouldn't try and give you 2 brown themed paper pads. So, you know, if you bought more than one, you're going to end up with a lot of different papers. But yeah, I mean, hopefully you're going to end up with a lot of different sort of directions that you could go in with your papers. So just kind of showing you again, more different papers there. You know, really nice variety, and yeah, lots of fun to be had with these. So I have loads of fun putting these together, I have to be honest. Really enjoy putting these together. So that's those. I've got some covers. Now these are sold in packs of 2, so I've just got 3 packs of these left. So yep, they're just patchwork fabric covers. On the backs they are envelopes and they have got the stitching. So I personally, when I was using these, I would just collage the back with paper, is how I would finish these off. So they're sold in packs of 2, and again they're on a potluck basis, so I can't guarantee which 2 you would get, but any 2 of these. And again, you know, I will ensure that they're not kind of like too much the same, so you know, you're going to get 2 kind of quite different looking ones. So that's the paper, the covers, sorry. Then I've got only 1 pack of these paper fillers. So these are your items like little, well, as the name suggests, like papery type filler items to put in your journals. So these are, you know, quite fun. And yeah, like I say, this is the only one that I've got of this. So quite a nice little set there. And then in this you get 5 of the you know, papery type items, and then you get 5. These are reproduction vintage postcards, so they're not genuine vintage, they're reproduction vintage. Although that being said, I mean, I think they are quite old, you know, from like the 80s or whatever, so they are still classed as vintage, but they're not kind of like hugely old. They are pretty reproduction ones. Just one of those. And I've got 2 sets of paperclip packs, so just to quickly show you those. And again, in the paperclip packs you get 10 different paper clips. So yep, all completely different. And then, again, I have got 2 of these, so if you were to buy the 2, for example, you're not going to end up with repeats. They are different, you know, they are different paper clips. That's the little pocket one there. They are different paper clips, so yeah, you're going to end up with different, you know, a variety of different paper clips, and you get 10 in each pack, so they're quite a fun one. Oops, what's that one? Now, I know I've said this, you know, a few times now, but just to reiterate, I am paying the tariffs. So if you live in the US and, you know, you now are subject to tariffs, I'm covering those. So whatever you pay, you know, for the items and the postage, that's everything. You're not going to be charged for a tariff when you get, or when you know, you receive your parcel. I will have already paid the tariff at this end. You know, it's included in your postage cost. So I've got a couple of these, which are the, I think they're the Junk Journal variety packs. Now, again, I can't remember quite how many items you get in these, so, you know, maybe you would be able to count up while you're watching, but you get a huge variety of different pockets and things, so, you know, all different style pockets. They are not intended to go in the same journal. They are all, you know, all quite different. I mean, you might get one or two that you think, oh, that would go in the same journal, but generally they're going to be all kind of different ones. And maybe a couple of extra items. This got some bows, and you're also going to get some other pockets which are not decorated. So like this, for example, you've got this envelope, you've just got a little flip out, you've got this one, a little envelope. So, you know, they're not decorated, but the bulk of the items are decorated. So they're quite a fun one, because again, a bit like the tag bags, these are going to kind of like, you know, go in a whole different bunch of journals. They're all different, and I think there's 3 of these. So again, if you were to order more than one, you're going to get, you know, a lot of different items. So yeah, that's quite a fun one. Right, okay, next item, I'm going to very quickly flip you through this. So I've got a couple of different folios. I've got this one with the very girly colours, and then I've got this one in the greens and the much more kind of sultry type colours. So I'm just going to flick you through this one first. So really, really gorgeous. You've got lots of fabric on the cover of this. And then look at that lovely cover, absolutely covered in stuff. All sorts of things on here. You've got like gems and ribbons and sari silk bow, you've got flowers, you've got all sorts of different things going on here. And then when you open this, absolutely gorgeous. So this comes with a little writing journal. Now this is a very basic kind of journal. It's just with a vellum, coffee dyed vellum junk journal, and on the you know, or the pages, they are a variety of genuine vintage ephemera. So you've got like some letter there and things. You've got some deli paper and stuff. You've got book page, all different papers in there. Really super squishy, lovely, you know, scrumply kind of feeling journal. So yeah, really, really, really nice, that one. And then in here, oh no, just now looked and thought, oh, I've not stuffed the pockets. Right, I've not stuffed the pockets of this, so you're going to have to trust me on this one. I do apologise for this. I don't know how that slipped my mind, but yeah. So I've yet to stuff the pockets. I will be stuffing the pockets, and the pockets are going to contain a combination of maybe some vintage ephemera, and of course some other things as well. You know, a variety of kind of little flippy pads and things like that. So please ignore the fact that these pockets are not stuffed. They are going to be stuffed. And they're going to be stuffed with, yeah, a whole different variety of things. So, I mean, I've got a couple of little pages here, so I'm just going to, just to demonstrate, I will just take, you know, 1 or 2 pages while we're at this. So let's just quickly fold this in like that. Okay, I can't believe I have not actually filled this. Like, what an idiot. Ugh. I've really been very busy this week, and yeah, this obviously just now slipped my mind completely. Right, okay, so opening this journal up, folio, sorry, we've got, first of all, on this side, so there's loads and loads going on this one. So you've got a foldy kind of flap here. Now on here, you've also got a foldy flap this way, so it's a kind of double flap here. So you've got a you know, pocket here. So just, you know, pretend that we have stuffed these pockets. So you've got a pocket here, you've got the envelope here, which will be obviously stuffed with something. This is mainly using papers and ephemera from my autumn kit that I did this year. I can't remember what that was called either. I'm so sorry. I'm really, really slacking today. Really rubbish. Yeah, the potatoes, the papers are predominantly from the autumn kind of papers and things. So you've got a pocket here, then this folds over, you've got a pocket here as well. You've got loads of sari silk, bows, lace. You know, this is really stuffed full, and I love the colours of this. It's absolutely gorgeous. Then going over here, you've got this envelope, and again, I will put something obviously in this pocket. You've got another piece here and some lace and a flower. And then here you've got just a fold out. Here you've got a little flippy like that. So, you know, journaling space there. Oops, can't really fit it in, but yeah, folds down and, you know, down again kind of thing. So that just goes in like that. So you've got a pocket. Is that? Yep, a pocket there. So again, I will put something into there as well. Then you've got this, obviously, journaling space here, and then you've got a big pocket here. So again, I will stuff that with something. Lace down here, lace across the top, and you've got some sari silk as well. So really gorgeous. Then opening this, so I'm going to have to kind of like move this across because it won't all fit on the desk. It's quite big, this one. So on here, you've got a foldy flip here. I don't think that's a pocket. Oh, it is a pocket. So yep, pocket there. This folds up, so you've got journaling space on here. Then this one here, that's again a pocket. Yep, a pocket here. You've got then journaling space here, and then you've got journaling space here, and yeah, that's another pocket in there. And you've got some lace trim. You've got sari silk down the side and a bow. This is also a pocket here, so let me just fold this up so that I can at least be demonstrating where there's pockets actually. So it's easier to kind of like see what's going on, isn't it, if there are, you know, things in the pockets. So this is some vintage book page. So yeah, gorgeous, gorgeous vintage book page, this one. So yeah, just fold that in like that, and then I will just tuck that in on itself. Right, so we've got this one. So yeah, you've got a pocket here. And then up here, you've got another pocket there. Then in the middle centre section, you've got a flap here. So you've got journaling space on the back. And then this is also, oops, this one is also a pocket. So, yep, in fact, a belly band, so something in there. Then you've got another flap here with another pocket up here. So, I mean, there's so many pockets and things on this, I can't tell you. You've got lace here, and then this opens out. Now, this is an envelope. What a feast for the eyes this one is. Isn't that gorgeous? So, again, you've got, oops, a pocket. Oh. Again, you've got a pocket in there, obviously, from the envelope. You've then got a pocket here. Oh, struggling to get into some of these pockets. Anyway, you have a pocket there, more sari silk down here, a gorgeous bow, and then you've got another pocket. Another pocket here. I don't know what's going on with me. This is very tricky to get into some of these pockets. Another pocket here, like that. Okay, so yeah, tons and tons of pockets on this. So absolutely gorgeous. And then going across here, we've got another little foldy flap here, and this has got another little foldy flippy kind of piece here, like that. So more journaling space. This all tucks into here, which I love. This then has another pocket here. In fact, I'm going to get rid of this because actually the that card works better for demonstrating the pockets. So yeah, let's put this in here. Because that just went nicely in there. So that one's already filled. And then I think that's possibly a pocket as well. Yep, another pocket there. This sari silk up here and a bow, and then this opens, and then we've got, again, this is an envelope, so it's really nice and roomy, you know, lots of room in there. Then you've got another, this is a fold down flap, so you've got more room for journaling here. You've got another pocket in here, a little label, and then this one opens, no, not a pocket there, journaling space here, and another little foldy flap here, and that's also a pocket there. So you've got journaling space here, and then you've got journaling space here, and then that closes, and then you've got a massive great big pocket here. So it's a super pockety folio, like pockets galore going on here. So yeah, very, very interactive. And yeah, just scrummy colours, lots of black lace, which I absolutely love. It makes it very dramatic. And, you know, although it is using autumn papers, I don't think it looks too autumny. It looks, yeah, just quite rich and dramatic, to be honest. So absolutely love this. Like I say, you do get the little writing journal as well, so that just goes in there and then that closes up like that. So absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous folio there. So that's that one. Now then I've got this one. Couldn't be more different colour wise. So this one is bound with some sari silk. Now this one is a kind of lilac-y colour sari silk. I'd bought this hoping it was going to be the same colour as like that pinky one that I had before, which I've now run out of, which gutted to have run out of it. It turns out it's actually quite lilac. So, you know, I mean, it's a gorgeous colour, but yeah, it's not the same colour that I'd hoped it was going to be. Anyway, it's bound with that. And what this one comes with, instead of a little flippy journal, this one has come with a ephemera bundle. So this has got, again, lots of vintage ephemera. You've got sheet music and things, and then you've got a mixture of other papers, but again, more vintage kind of pieces. You've got vellum, all sorts of different bits and bobs. You've got some internal envelope. You've got this. I mean, isn't that just absolutely lovely? I know it's upside down, but yeah, absolutely lovely. It's because it's obviously sideways on here. So really, really nice, that one. Then you've got more kind of like vintage ephemera here, dated 1926. You've got another piece here. So loads of different, very interesting kind of pieces of paper. And again, this one, you could use it as it is, as a kind of writing journal, you know, use it to write in like that. Or of course, you could kind of tear these bits out and use these in your own journals and things like that. I mean, look at this. Isn't that just the most gorgeous invoice piece? So that's dated 1925. And then you've got some vellum on the front. It's got the big eyelets there, sort of, you know, setting it together. And it's got, again, that coordinating sari silk that just goes through the holes there. So really, really nice. And I just thought something a bit different than having just, you know, a writing journal. Okay, so this folio, now we have worked on this together in a couple of videos. I can't remember whether we've worked on the cover, unfortunately. I feel like we did, but I'm not quite sure. So yeah, this one is the one that's using my hydrangea papers. So this is a super, super, super girly folio. Like I say, couldn't be more different than the other one. Not sure which one I prefer, to be honest, because I love the drama of the other one, but I do love the girly colours of this one. So again, it's been covered in this gorgeous velvet fabric, and then on the front cover, my goodness, we have an abundance of different things going on the front cover. So, you know, all different laces and things, sari silks, different colour sari silks. We've got rosebuds, a flower, and then we've got this gorgeous like topper type piece here. The back's plain, and then we've just got lace going down the spines there. And then when you open it out, or open it up, perhaps I should say, this is kind of like just an inside, like an inside cover, I suppose. So again, more gorgeous yumminess going on here. Absolutely lovely. Loads of different things, like too much stuff to list really. So lace, sari silk, you know, all different bits and bobs, flowers, gems, everything. And then it opens out like this. Now this one, thankfully, I have remembered to stuff all the pockets. So over here, we've got first pocket here, or first flap there, like that. So this is all the ephemera, not ephemera, sorry, the hydrangea papers and ephemera pieces, and then I've mixed them with a few other things as well. But predominantly the papers are mainly from the hydrangea papers. Look at this colour of this sari silk. Oh my gosh, that's so yummy, isn't it? So again, tried to put loads and loads of flicks and flaps and things, so this was really, really interactive. So love how this looks. It just tucks in here under the butterfly. You've got a gem. This is some actual kind of antique lace, really, really lovely. And then you've got a little journaling card in there, a couple of little banner pieces up there, and then tucked in here. Oh, that's not a good start, is it? There we go. Tucked in there, you've just got some coffee dye paper. Oops. That's just a kind of like opening trifold, and then some bits from the hydrangea ephemera, so that just tucks in like that. Then here we've got an envelope, and tucked in there we've got some vintage ephemera in the form of this letter, Now this is dated 1901, so super, super old. That just goes in, oops, that just goes in there like that. And then here we've got a pocket here in the pocket, if you see what I mean. So that's got a little piece there. We've got the sari silk, we've got lace, got bling. And then here I've put a couple of things in this pocket. So you've got some vintage sheet music, you've got some vintage book page, and then you've got just a printable there. So that just all tucks in to there. But before I tuck that in, you've also got a little flip up, so again you could journal on here. So that tucks down like that. It actually tucks into the pocket, and then it's kind of like held in with the pieces that go into the pocket. Then tucked into here, which is another pocket, you've again got some more vintage ephemera in the form of, you know, a sheet for from some vintage document. And this one is dated 1915, so really nice and old. Oh, and you've got the original brad there up in the corner. So yeah, really quite nice with the brad. That just tucks in like that. And then going to the middle section, we've got a foldy flap here and a foldy flap here. This one I think is a pocket as well. I didn't put anything in it. It's quite tiny. But yeah, you've got another pocket there. You've got another little banner up here. You've got some more sari silk and some lace and some bling. You've got journaling space here, and then you've got another little... Oh, I thought that was a pocket. Maybe it's not. Maybe I just stuck that down flat. And then you've got a butterfly, and then tucked in here, this is a genuine piece of vintage ephemera in the form of this gorgeous image of this lady, but it's all plain on the back, so you could journal on there. And that just then again tucks in on itself like that. It just tucks into the pocket. And then here we've got a little kind of foldy flap there, so again journaling space there like that, really cute. And then here we've got just a journal card there. It's just tucked in like that. And then here we've got another pocket, again another little journaling kind of piece there. You've got more of that antique lace and then some more bling. And then tucked into here, absolutely love this little bit of or this arrangement of ephemera. How gorgeous is all of this? So you've got a rusted paper clip holding it all together, and look at these gorgeous bits and pieces that you've got here. So yeah, lots of kind of vintagey bits of paper, like scraps really. And then you've also got a vintage letter, again dated 1919 there. Really, really nice penmanship and just lovely. I love the way it's held together with the rusted paper clip. Just feels really nice and really vintage. So that just goes in there like, oops, in there like that. Oh gosh, in there like that. And then going across, you've got here a foldy flap, and then a foldy flap here. So here you've got a big pocket. So tucked in here you've got, again, just a piece of food coloured paper, but it coordinates brilliantly. And then you've got some vintage book page. And that just goes into there like that. Got more of that vintage lace there, and also down the bottom. And then, oh my goodness, look at these gorgeous bits of sari silk. So yeah, a couple of different coloured pieces there, absolutely gorgeous. Then here on this foldy out piece you've got a pocket, and I've put in one of those single side laminated like journal card there, really, really lovely. And then some coffee dyed lace on the edge there. Then tucked in here you've got again some more vintage ephemera. Oops. In the form of this kind of letter type document thing. So yeah, really nice. And then here you've just got some vintage book page. Now I'm not even going to open this because this is really fragile and quite teary. So yeah, really love it, but yeah, super delicate. So going to just pop that in there like that. Okay, you've got journaling space here, and then this is an envelope, so you've got a big pocket in the side, journal card in there. Oops, like that. And then here you've got again another flap with journaling space, and then here you've got a big pocket with this is just a vintage book image, but I've just backed it onto the ivory card. Love doing this because it makes it look like a vintage photograph. So yeah, really, really nice. So that goes in there. More of that antique lace and some more bling. So really, really nice little bit there. And then here you've just got more journaling space here. Another pocket in the side with, again, another piece of vintage document. Oh, I'm not going to unfold it because the more I handle these things, the more I'm likely to tear them. Again, dated 1893. It's just a piece of some vintage document. Really, really nice. And then here you've just got another sort of belly band with, again, another journal card popped in there. Some more vintage lace and then some more sari silk on there. So absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So yeah, really, really yummy. Love the colours of this. Like I say, I mean, yeah, I probably do lean towards this one. But that being said, I do love the drama of the one with all the black lace. I think that's really, really nice too. So that's that one, and it all just then ties round, what's this called? Is this vertically? Vertically, with the sari silk that obviously coordinates with the sari silk in the bundle itself. So yeah, really, really nice. Okay, now the next couple of bits that I'm going to show you, I'm going to kind of do quite quickly, and then I have got a journal as well, but I will probably do the journal in another video. I'll just pop this on the floor. Oh, sorry, like lots of items here to show you. So, right, straighten this out. Yeah, I do have a journal, but I will probably have to do that in another video. We'll see how we get on time-wise. So I've got a couple of small kits, and then I've got a couple of very small journals here. So the small kits, we've got this one here. Whoops. So we've got some sari silk tied around, just a little pouch here. And then in here we've got a little pocket. So this is just a very small kit that you can just use. Hopefully it's kind of coordinated in a way that you could use these bits in the same journal, you know, rather than kind of a different one. This is a double envelope pocket. So really nice. You've got some sari silk just tying around the middle there. Oops. Securing that closed. Like that. And then here you've just got one of those little decorative edge strip type clustery pieces. So yeah, really nice. And then here you've got, this is, I think it's a collage masterboard pocket. And then you've got a, oh gosh, what are they called? Specimen slide piece there, a label, a little flower, a banner and a metal corner there. You've got one of the pockets there from my Perfect Pockets packs, so you just glue that on those sides, and yep, that's a little pocket. And then you've got some collage masterboard pieces there, which again, you know, I would probably just glue these in as like little belly band pieces into a journal. So yeah, all kind of little coordinating bits for a sort of brownie, you know, very vintage looking journal. You know, the pieces are very vintage looking. So yeah, I mean, obviously not enough to, you know, anywhere near fill a journal, but definitely enough to, you know, get you started and maybe give you some inspiration for, you know, a starting point for a journal. So that's that one. Then I have another small kit. Now again, I think these are on a potluck basis, so I can't guarantee which kit you're going to get. So again, it's tied with the sari silk. Again, a little pouch. This time you've got some vintage book page on the pouch, which how cute is that? And then you've got pockets in the back. So you've got this gorgeous, what do you call this? Collage masterboard piece. It's been stitched around the edge. This has got a little bit of a flaw here where it's kind of like got damaged. Again, if I was gluing that down, I'd just kind of add some extra glue so that it was kind of like really, you know, glued down quite well sort of thing. So yeah, that's kind of how I would get around that. So you've got that one. You've got a little cereal packet envelope here. Really love that. Surprised I'm parting with it actually, because I was sort of holding it. You've got here a book page envelope, not a book page envelope, a book page pocket, but with one of the flowers on there as well. So yeah, really, really nice. Then here you've got this, I have hoarded this for a long time. It's one of those pockets with like the hole in there. So yep, a torn sort of hole, and then you've got the wax seal on here with some ribbon, lace across the top. It's all been stitched, and yeah, I would kind of glue this on 3 sides and use it as a top loading pocket. And then here you've just got a pocket here with envelope there, not envelope, a pouch, you know, pocket there, and I think this has got a pocket, yeah, in the side as well. So yeah, really nice. And a genuine vintage cigarette card there. And then finally you've got this one with a little vellum kind of pocket on here, and again I would glue this on 3 sides, so it was like a top loading pocket with a little, just to demonstrate, with a little vellumy pocket on the front as well. So perhaps I'll just leave that in there. So yeah, some super cute little items in there, and obviously it's, you know, it's quite different colours to the other, you know, the other little kit, but all quite vintage looking stuff going on there as well. So yeah, that's that one. Let's just put them all back. Well, I must be mindful of the time because it's probably coming along for school run time. So yeah, my daughter is kind of generally walking home with her friend now, but today is not very nice weather, and I said I would pick her up because it's likely to be raining, although it's not raining right now, but I already told her I would. So right, then I've got 3 small journals. So I've got this journal here. Again, it's got just a little wraparound closure with some sari silk. Absolutely gorgeous. This is my Paris collection papers. How lovely do those papers look? Absolutely scrumptious, don't they? Opened out like that. So back them onto some other paper there, so it's kind of doubled up. Bits and pieces here layered up with some lace and things. You've got a bow, a wax seal, some ribbon, a flower there with a gem, and then going in here you've got sari silk, you've got some lace, and then you've got a mixture of, again, vintage documents and some greaseproof paper, some coffee dyed paper, some deli paper, all different things. And then you've got some journal cards here, paper clipped on. These have all been coffee dyed. They're just, you know, printables there, and they are held on with the rusted paper clip there. And then in the back here you've just got a little pocket with another coffee dyed printable in there, so, and a bit of sari silk and a little bow there. So really super cute, very squishy, gorgeous, yummy journal, and like I say, it's just got the wraparound closure there. So yeah, really nice journal. Then I'm going to show you this one last. So then I've got this one. Now this one is the very last, I think, of I had like a little album, like a wedding album book with all these different pages, and I have made several journals from this book, but I think, as far as I'm aware, unless suddenly some pages turn up somewhere, this is, I think, the last page that I had. So I just literally formed it into a little book. So you've got, again, several different pages in here, and including some vintage documents and letters and what have you, and then you've got just a few things paper clipped on with, again, a rusted paper clip. So some journal cards there. These ones haven't been coffee dyed, but they all tie in and match really nicely with what's going on the cover. So yep, they clip on there. Really, really lovely. You've got some lace and things, and then look at that gorgeous cover. You've got this lovely frame, you know, embellishment type topper type piece, loads of lace and things. And then you've got one of those vintage style jabbos on the clasp, and then you've just got, again, a wraparound closure with this lovely sari silk, and I doubled it over to make it a bit more sort of impactful. So yeah, really gorgeous, that one. Then this one, I'm showing you this one last because this is like my favourite one. It's just because it's pink, I just really like it. So yeah, this one, again, you've got the wraparound closure with the sari silk. Oh my goodness. So this is my pink patisserie collection papers. How yummy and gorgeous do they look? Yeah, absolutely love it. And then I've just got my damask papers, you know, doubled over to thicken it up. So on the inside, you've just got a pocket here with a little printed journal card that's been coffee dyed. You've got a variety of paper inside. So again, you've got vintage documents, you've got coffee dyed papers, you've got, you know, deli paper, greaseproof paper. Then you've got the rusted paper clip here. Oops, take that off. And then you've got some more journal cards there. These have been coffee dyed and they just go in there like that. Like that. You've just got a little stitched edge piece there as well. And then look at this cover. How gorgeous is this? So this is from my vintage fashion plates collection papers. Just tore a little bit out, made a little, I think this was actually from a snippet strip with my my French labels, you know, pieces. Some of that antique lace, that's, I think that was like the last of my lace, the vintage lace. And then look at that Jabbo. Oh my gosh, I love the colours of this one. Absolutely my type of colours. They are so gorgeous, and wow, don't they just pick up all the, you know, the colours from there. So yeah, absolutely love that one. Absolutely gorgeous. So again, squishy and really super yummy. So yeah, really love that. Right, finally I've got a sort of, you know, full-size journal. Now I didn't think I would have time to do this, but I'm going to, you know, super quickly fly through this. So I challenged myself to do not quite such a chunky one, so it is still quite chunky. I didn't quite pull it off, but I think it was reasonable actually, you know, not quite as chunky as they sometimes turn out. So this one is very vintage style. It's lots of greens and browns, very very vintage kind of looking for me. So I've bound it just with some coffee dyed lace, again doing it vertically rather than horizontally. This has got one of my little you know, fabric tassel kind of things on there, and again it's got one of the charms that we made recently in the chipboard tiles, you know. On the front cover, this is a piece from my Victorian London collection papers. Just stitched it around with loads of different laces all around it. How gorgeous does that look? Loads of different lace layered up, so most of it's been coffee dyed. You've got some sari silk and things. Absolutely love this. More coffee dyed lace up here. This one actually is a vintage lace, and then some gems on there. Now the back is plain other than this little tiny bit of lace here. So yeah, really love this. Going inside now, most of these papers are from the Vault set 3, and literally I couldn't wait to use these papers because oh, I just love the colours. So the green background papers, these papers, they're all from the Vault, and then it's mixed with other things. So we've got some sari silk down here. Now this sari silk, it was cream or ivory, but this actually got discoloured by mistake just leaning up against my distress ink pad. So yeah, I thought, oh, goes perfectly on here, so thought I would use that. Then various different little bits here, absolutely gorgeous. And then here I've got one of those pockets we did recently in a mass making. And then it's got a perfume bottle from the Perfume Principles lace here, some bling, some roses from the Symphony Orchestra kit, and a butterfly. Some vintage ephemera there in from 1904, excuse me. Getting a really dry throat here from whizzing through all this so quickly. Loads of talking. And then here on the facing page, look at that paper. It's so yummy, isn't it? And I did coffee dye all of these background pages as well. Made this lovely pocket here, again from the kit. Lovely cluster here, just with a piece there from the Great Expectations kit. Another rose from the Symphony Orchestra. Some beautiful lace on there. One of my single side laminated pieces there, so that just tucks in there. And then we've got some more vintage ephemera here, just in the form of this book page. I don't think this was book page actually. I think this was some vintage document, and that just tucks in there. Then going over the page again, I mean, so beautiful, these colours. I absolutely love this journal, I have to say. In fact, I'm quite shocked that I'm parting with it already and not hoarding it, but sometimes I think it's better to just get rid of things straight away before I get too attached to them. So this has again got more of those papers from the Vault set 3, and then this pocket also from those same papers, some lace, a cluster on here, and then a flower, a journal card printable that just went into the pocket, and then we've got just some vintage documents here in the form of this typed letter dated 1928. Goes in there. Then here, now I haven't put anything into this pocket. I personally found that quite tricky to get to and didn't want to damage it putting something in there. You definitely could put something in there, but I'm not the best at doing things like that. You've got then one of my you know, cabinet cards. These are the laminated, fully laminated cabinet cards. Absolutely love these. We did do a tutorial yeah, probably like 2 maybe 3 years ago on these, so yeah, I have been hoarding these, but I really love them. Listen, how nice are they? I love the fact they feel so solid because it makes them feel like a genuine cabinet card, so love that. Then here we've got some vintage document that just tucks into there. This is from my Capital collection, really nice, some sari silk going over the page. Love this corner pocket, doesn't that look stunning? Just, oh, so pretty against these papers. So this is from the Vault, and this is my Documents 3 collection, but wow, don't they look lovely together, those blues against this florally background. Again, some more vintage letter, 1929. That just folds up and goes up there. Love this blue flower as well, just picks up the colours perfectly. Then you've got a stitch label here, and some roses. It is a tuck spot, so you could put something in there if you wanted. Plain spaces for journaling. We've got more of that, you know, brown dyed sari silk. Vintage sheet music, vintage book page, some coffee dyed paper. And then this page, how lovely does that look? And I just stitched on a laminated piece of document, and I do have, I think, a tutorial coming up, or it might have already been up, I can't remember. And then we've just got a piece of lace running down the side. Again, another vintage letter, quite smudgy this one, but yeah, it is the original 1928. That just goes in like that. Oh, look at that piece for the eyes. Absolutely love this. So again, more of that lovely vintage lace there that's been coffee dyed, some gems. And then tucked up here, just a piece from the vintage book that I've backed onto paper to make it look like a, you know, photograph. Gorgeous pocket here. And then here on this page, we've just got a journal card made from some, you know, yeah, printable. That just tucks in there like that. Again, that's a bit tricky to get to, so I have to be quite careful. And then here we've just got one of those single side laminated pieces, one of my frames, bird frames there, sari silk, and some sari silk down the edge, so really, really pretty. And then, oh my gosh, look at this lovely page. So yeah, we've got a little envelope here, absolutely gorgeous, really, really lovely. We've got a little tag in there, really nice, little brad at the top. That just tucks in there like that. We've got some coffee dyed lace here, some bling, and a butterfly. Now, we'll just say this is getting a bit caught on here, so it's just kind of, yeah, it's a little bit sort of too close to the edge, which is a bit annoying, but I just want to point that out. And then tucked in here, we've just got, again, another image from the vintage book, backed onto some brown card this time, which just looks really good on there, doesn't it? So yeah, that tucks in like that. Then here, this gorgeous cluster, that's just from, again, the Great Expectations ephemera pieces. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And I did do it as a tuck spot, so you could tuck something in there. Plain for journaling, other than the lace. Oh, sorry, journaling, vintage sheet music, journaling there, journaling. And then here, this again, this pocket, so you could put something in there. Then here we've got a pocket, some vintage book page. That just tucks in there. And then here we've got, again, some vintage documents. I'm not going to open that up, but I think that's another one of those lady pictures. Obviously different lady because it's all the original. And then here we've got little bit of vintage document that's been laminated, and we've also got a little flip down like faux envelope piece, so that tucks in there and the flap tucks in, and then we've just got this little piece here, whoops, it just tucks into there as well. Love how this looks with the flower and things and lace on the side. This is the centre of the signature. Again, what a feast for the eyes. I love the colours of this journal. It's so pretty, isn't it? Lace down the side. We've got a little pocket here with, again, some more laminated vintage documents. So that just goes in like that. Again, must do a tutorial on this, or I might have already done a tutorial. I can't remember. So, yep, not sure. And then this has got a little kind of clustery effect piece of ephemera there. So that just tucks in like that. And then on this side, you've got some vintage document tucked in. So, yeah, quite a big piece here. So you could use this for like journaling. You could use it for, you know, making little clusters. You could use it for like little flippy type pieces. Or, of course, you could leave it into this journal. But, yeah, really nice. Some more vintage book page, or maybe just vintage document. Can't even remember. But, yeah, more vintage stuff in there. And then we've got more sari silk down the side, a bow here, a cluster here. Yeah, really lovely. Then on this side, oh, how pretty does this look? So this is one of those like, don't know what we called these, collage edge strips, were they? And I've just kind of made more of it by backing it onto some other paper. And then again, it's all onto that from the Vault set 3. So how gorgeous does that look? Some lace at the top, lace here, a butterfly, little flower with a gem, absolutely gorgeous. And then this vintage letter dated 1914. So yeah, really, really cute. That just goes in like that. This journal card, which again, I've been hoarding this. What is wrong with me? But it's really nice, isn't it? But yeah, colour wise, just thought, oh, that goes really nice there. Little bit of detail there, and then we've got plain for journaling, more of that brown dyed sari silk, a little decorative edge strip bit there, and then we've got some you know, sheet music, plain for journaling, little label. Then we've got this one here. So yeah, love how this looks, really pretty. This is the genuine vintage photograph or postcard, anyway, one or the other. Some more genuine vintage documents here. That just tucks in there like that. And then we've got some buttons and some lace. And then going over the page, we've got one of those fabric tip-ins. I always forget to use these. So yeah, I was quite excited to actually finally use one. You know, because like I said, I do forget to use them, to be honest. But yeah, doesn't that go brilliantly colour-wise? More of that vintage lace. We've got a little butterfly down the bottom and then the lace there. But I mean, look at that paper. So pretty, isn't it? And then here we've got more sari silk down the side. We've got another one of those book page vintage photograph style pieces there. And then just a printable there that's been coffee dyed. So that just goes in the top. That's just got a little cluster on the front. Going over the page, we've just got a little, whoops, long flap envelope, single side laminated piece. That just closes like that. So yeah, super pretty. On the facing page, it's just plain for journaling other than a label and some more of that antique lace there. And then here, sorry, I forgot to say, got some more vintage document in the form of this letter dated 1931. That just goes in there. And then, sorry, I'm just getting rid of glue threads as I go through. Plain for journaling, again, vintage stuff. And then plain for journaling here. Oh my gosh, we've got this gorgeous little bit here. Can't remember whether I've already put this tutorial out when we made these, but if I haven't, it's coming. But yeah, how lovely does that look? And then a little pocket or tuck spot, sorry, here. Absolutely gorgeous, some lace. And then this one, again, I haven't put anything in here because the journal was beginning to bulk out a little bit, but you definitely could. But yeah, I mean, how gorgeous do these papers all look together? So this is, again, you know, roses from the Symphony Orchestra, bits from the Great Expectations, and then the papers themselves from the Vault. And just, wow, those colours together look, lovely, don't they? And then here I've just got this little scrappy type piece. Again, it's got like a little eyelet through there to hold it together. That just tucks all into the pockets like that. And then going over the page, I mean, again, what a feast for the eyes. This looks very busy kind of page. We've got this huge envelope pockets here. Again, I'm not going to open this. I think this is another one of those, you know, lady book pages. Again, a different lady, obviously. And sari silk down the side. Lots of different things going on the front of this envelope. And then tucked in the top. Just got a little flippy arrangement there with some... you know, embroidery thread around the, you know, through the holes. And then here we've got a double corner pocket. So take these bits out. Oh, how lovely does that page look? So that's from the Vault paper. That's just from the Documents collection, Documents 3, I think, and that's the Documents 2. Excuse me. And then a cluster there featuring a piece from the Swan Lake. And we've just got that little journal card up there. And then just, again, more little vintage document there. Absolutely gorgeous. That just, oops, goes in there like that. Whew. And then we're on the inside of the back cover. So, yep, again, another feast for the eyes page here. So, yep, we've got here, how gorgeous does this page look? So, this is again from the Vault 3. This is, oh, I can't remember whether this is called Regal Teal, these papers. But look at that together. How lovely does that look? A little cluster there with some bling lace here. More coffee dyed lace here. Bling. Little tag there. Looking gorgeous. So that just goes in there. And then we've just got a little foldy flip just from some coffee dyed paper there. That just goes in here. So, in fact, it went in here behind the tag. And then the inside of the back cover, wow, just absolutely love how this page looks. So we've got the, you know, sari silk that's been, you know, dyed by the Distress ink. Absolutely gorgeous. And then this huge, great big pocket running right the way down the almost full length of the page. Absolutely yummy, yummy, yummy. Collaged up lots of the From the Vault set 3 papers. This is all from the Vault papers. We've got a label. Another one of those Great Expectations ephemera pieces there on a cluster. That gorgeous teal coloured ribbon. Couple of labels, a little flower, some coffee dyed lace. I mean, it just looks scrumptious, doesn't it? And then tucked in, we've got here some vintage invoice, or ledger, sorry, not invoice, ledger, dated 1915, so super old piece there, and that just tucks in to the back. And then here, oh my gosh, again, surprised that I'm parting with this because I have been hoarding this for the longest time. Look at this, isn't this gorgeous? So we've got some vellum at the front, lots of you know, vintage documents, some food coloured paper, more vintage document. We've got the wide eyelets and that lovely sari silk there holding that together, so that all just tucks in there like that, and that's it. So yeah, absolutely scrumptious journal. Very, very different for me, you know, because it's not sort of pink and girly, but yeah, really, really love the colours of this one, I have to say. So yeah, let me know what you think. Obviously that was a huge restock, so I'm so sorry that it's obviously dragged on for so long, and it was a bit of a whistle stop very, very quickly going through everything, but there was a lot to cover in the video. So yeah, I really hope that you like everything. Do let me know, obviously, you know, what things you like best, what things you would like to see in my shop. So, you know, if there's anything in particular that you think, oh, I'd love to see more of those things, let me know. And yeah, really hope that you like everything. And obviously it's all for sale on my shabbydabbydoodah.co.uk website. Like I said before, the tariffs are covered if you are in the US. Everything you pay is everything you pay. You know, there will be no further charges when it gets to your end. I will have already paid the tariffs and the postage and everything all at this end. So yeah, I really hope that you like it all, and yeah, let me know what you think. Really appreciate a big thumbs up for the video, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate your subscribing. So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks then. Bye.